Hello everyone, this will be a basic tutorial on how to create a CRUD application using plain JavaScript. So first, go to your command prompt or just head over to simply your folder. I'll be creating my index file here. You may code along. And then my JavaScript file. Afterwards, open your code editor. Now I have two files here, the HTML and then the JavaScript. First, let's enter our basic syntax for HTML. And then let's type in the title as CRUD app. For this one, we'll be creating a to-do application. So there will be two sections here. I'm going to put a container. Okay, and inside the container there will be two divisions. One for the input and then one for the output. So let's put the output here first. Say h1 with tag task list. Oops. And then with a div of tasks. Okay, so whatever is inside of here will be our task list. Okay, and then for our input section, just put a form here. Let's name this one as form, and inside the form I'll be accepting two inputs, one for the name, the task, and then the date. Label for date. Okay, date. Right, and then the input fields ID equal task, there you go. And then for the date, there, looks good from here except for an error message. I'm going to put an error message here, say ID equal MSG. So if just in case these inputs are empty, our display message will be here. Alright, there, I think that's it for the HTML file. Next, let's head over to the JavaScript file. Go over there, and then let's create constant variables for those ID fields that we've created. Okay, let's put make on here. I'll target the task ID or the form ID first. So form, I'll be using query selector. Okay, as for the form, the next one is the task, the date, and then the message. Task, message, okay, and then I think the last one is our task list. See, okay, That will be the collection of tasks. That's our input section. I mean output section. There. So once you're done declaring your variables, we will be declaring a data field. So let's just say data. This will be our collection of task list, and every input will have an object in it. So let's validate the form first. So form, add an event listener here. On the trigger of submit, we will be checking for the input. Okay, let's put an event here, and then we can set the form to not refresh the page by default, right? And here we can assign an if condition. For example, if the task dot value is empty or false, or let's just say is empty. I use 3 exclamation points here, meaning if the field is empty, it's going to say true or false. So I'm going to use an or here so that the date can have the same thing. So if those 2 fields are empty, it will say message dot inner HTML is please complete the form. There, right? And if the form is validated correctly, it will accept the data. There. I will call another function, and it will be here. Accept data. Oops, did I say date? It's supposed to be data. And then from the accept data, we are going to put it inside our array here, right? So that will be like data.push, and like I said before, it will be inside an object here with the use of curly braces, and I'm going to name task as task.value, and then the other one will be date, and then date.value. So whatever value is entered, it will be captured here, right? To check, we'll need to log the console data. Okay, oops. Now to double check, let's save this one and then run the index file. Let's see if we have something. Okay, now we have our window here. Let me make it bigger. So for the task, I'm going to enter, say, name, and then enter the date, 24. Oh, I forgot the submit button. Silly me. Let's go back to our index file. Don't forget, guys, if you have a form, always put a submit button. I don't need to put an ID there, so submit. There. Let's go back to our window. Here we go. Then don't forget to open your console log. There. Once we hit submit, it should say something like didn't get an error. Let me try again. Oh, it's refreshing. Let me check. So if it's refreshing, I have here form. I put the correct ID. Oh, of course, on your index file, don't forget to put your JavaScript file. So it will be called by your source, right? So our index file or index.js file is here. Script is there now. See? Now we can call the file. I'll put task as Apple, and then put the date there. It says please complete the form, and then I hit submit again. Now we have something inside the array. Okay, now I have the date Apple, the task Apple, and then the date with 23/5/24, which is correct. There. Now we're done with the first step. We are able to capture the data and they put it inside our array. Next, once we've accepted the data here, we need to call another function, display data. Display data meaning we will have another function named display data so that we can see our data inside this section. Okay, so next, let's put that one there. What we needed to do is to empty our task list first, there, that inner HTML, so that in the next iteration it will be empty and then it will be refreshed. And then afterwards we need to call our this one with the use of mapping the data. So data.map, and then we'll have two parameters here, x and then y. X for our property values, and then y for the ID. Okay, once we have that, we'll have a return function. Oops. And inside that return function, we'll call task.innerHTML again. And we will continuously add, what's wrong with my plus sign? Where's my arrow? I forgot my arrow, sorry. There we go. Now this one is task.inner.html plus equal sign, and we are going to string literal the additional elements that will be children to this field. See? So from here we will have another div section which is declared here. Got it? So once we have that, we'll have, say, span, and then another span, there, and then maybe another span. Okay, and then these three spans will be the children of the div, which is let's say ID is equal to, if you are going to call a variable, put it inside, let me make this bigger, put it inside the y attribute or property. And then for the span, I will put, say, another $sign, and then x dot, this one, x dot task, because this will be the task span section. And then for the other one, it will be date, x dot date. Copy. Okay, and for the next item, we'll have the edit and delete buttons for each section. So we have the task and then the date, and then each one item will have a delete and then edit section. So this one will be our delete, edit, and then the other one will be delete. Of course, we'll have to call a function once these are clicked, right? So once this is clicked, we'll call on edit task, and then the other one on click equal delete task. But of course, to target the specific data, you'll have to put the keyword this, right? Let's do the same for delete task, this, and then I think that's it. We have the complete information. So we were able to data map from X and the Y, and it should display properly once this is called. Let's try again. Let's go back to our HTML file. Let's type in Apple, hit submit. There. Right now it's empty. Apple 2023. We try again. Well, right now it's adding. Let's double check why it's not adding. X.date, task.date. How come it's still not working? Let's take a look at our JavaScript file again. Maybe I missed something. Task in HTML. I'm up the data correctly. Oh, I get it. So our ID here doesn't have a simple quote. So let's try again. All right. Well, you know, as a programmer, the only way that you will learn is through mistakes. So let's try again. I say task 1, and then with the date, submit. Oh yes, there you go. Task 1 with the date, edit and delete. Right? Of course, if we hit edit, it will not work yet. See? It will have an error because we don't have the function named yet. So next, let's create the delete task first. But before we do, let's call on another function to clear the fields whenever we enter new data here, right? Okay. So let's go back to our code. Let's call the clear form function. Function clear form. There we go. And then let's mark the task dot value equal empty string. The same goes for the date dot value equal empty string. Let's test that one next. Submit. There. Now it's empty. Submit. Let's move this one to after the submit button. Go back here. I'll put you down here. There. That's better. See? Okay, our task list should be almost complete. Just the edit and then delete button. Let's create the delete button first. So let's declare it inside an arrow function. Say delete task, so that we can trigger the event. That's why we're putting it inside an arrow function. E here, and then the arrow function. There. So we will be targeting this one to be deleted so that the entire div will be removed from the task list, right? So in order to do that, call on the E function, and then we're going to target the parent of this one. So what is the parent of this icon here? Span, right? And then we'll also call on the parent of the span, which is this one, right? So we'll call the parent element 2 times. Parent element dot parent element dot remove, right? So this way we will be able to remove whatever is entered here. There. So let's try and do that. Let's save that one. Let's try again. Task 1. There. And then let's try to hit on the delete button. See? It works. But we'll also have to remove the item inside this one, because this one isn't deleted at the back side of our front end. So in order to do that, we will use the splice method, data.splice, and we'll do the same for it. Say parent dot element, and then parent element again, but this time with the .id, because the id is declared with a y attribute or property, and then we would only like to remove 1, and of course we would like to log whatever we did. So let's log the data and see if it works. So that's our delete method, just 3 lines of codes. Let's go back here, let's type in task 1, let's put 5/9/2023 there, that's submitted. Let's try submitting. Okay, still works. Task 2, let's put a date. Task 3, let's put a date here, say 24. Submit. Now we have 3 tasks, but I would like to delete task number 2. Delete that one. Boom. And also, from array 3, it became array 2 objects or elements. So 1, 2, and 3. Now we have only 2. Let's open that one for us to double check. There we have 3 tasks, 1, and then 2, and then the other one, 1 and 3. See, let's try deleting another one. Oops. Delete that one. There, task 3 is left behind. And on our console log, we only have 1 left, which is task 3 as well. Alright, now for our final item here, it will be the edit. So that will be edit task. Still the same arrow function. So we can call the event button or event. And we would like to target, which is this one, right? And in order to do that, let's to shorten our code, let's declare a variable. Selected task will be equal to the parent element again, dot parent element. And yeah, I think that's it. And for another value, we will be using task.value. It will be equal to selected task. So you must be wondering why we're doing this. So what we're trying to do here is that whenever we click on the edit task, it will target the parent element. Okay, so that's what we did here. So click on edit task, it will target this one, the parent element, and then the value, which is this one, will obtain whatever is in here. So for example, if I click on edit, it will go here, task 3, and then the date will go here. Okay, so let's try again. That selected task, and then the children, I'll put it inside 0 first. Selected that children, yeah, it will be inner HTML. So do the same for date that value, selected task dot children, and instead of 0, I'll put 1, inner HTML. There. Let's try if it works. When we submit, this one clears, right? It goes here, and then if we click on edit, there, see, it goes here, right? And then that's the time we can edit. But what we need to do is clear the form afterwards. Say task inner HTML, clear the form. Yeah, we should delete it. So we're going to call on the delete function, so that whenever we click on the submit, edit something here, it will be removed from here. Oops, E is not defined. Alright, of course. There you go. E is not defined. Now it's added. Submit again. We click on edit. Now it's gone here. It went here. So we're going to update XXX. Submit. There. Oops. Yeah. Here. Right? So that's for the edit. I think everything's complete. Now what we needed to do is test for some data. Delete that one. say task 1, let's put the date here. Task 2, let's put another date there. Task 3, submit. Now we have 3 tasks. When you click delete, it works. If we click edit, it's removed, but then we would like to put task 225 and then the different date, 24. I mean 24. Click submit. Now it's here. Okay, I hope everything is okay here. If you would like to design something, I'll leave it up to you, because I know some of you here will be designers in the future. And this is the basic CRUD application to do app. We were able to create, read, edit, and then delete. I hope this was informative to you, and thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, just leave a comment down below. Thanks so much.